USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today we will be looking at the news cycle that is well upon us with regards to fiscal policy, macroeconomics, the stock market, fintech, DeFi, Wi-Fi, whatever name the CJBs come up with it. It is blockchain technology. It is the future. And quite simply put, it is. If this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto. Oh, by the way, I am the original BK, and I am known as the Crypto Trader. And my game is to make you money. I'm also known as the boss of Bitcoin. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you get to profit as a result, and today is no exception. So if you are in the chat right now, I'm live on the air. Shoot me a comment. I got this little video pulled up. I'll be able to pull you live on the screen. If you want to shout your country or your city out, do that now. I'm going to get to you guys at the end of the video. Without further ado, ain't nothing to make it do what it do. Let's go ahead and make this money.
Like a boss.
All right. So I don't normally do this, but I'm going to feature a CJB publication. This is CNBC. This is a little bit backdated, right? This is going back to August 14th, 2020. The title of this thing is "Where is the smart money going?" or "Where the smart money is going?" Because by definition, if you ain't plugged into the matrix and you ain't on the other side of that teleprompter directing them what to say, you are by definition the dumb money, right? But every now and then they drop a few nuggets for us dumb folk to let us know what they're doing with their money. This is a 5-minute video. To keep in mind, this is going to be a longer live stream that I do. Probably get well into 30, 40 minutes up to an hour. So I'm going to spend 5 minutes of my airtime to dedicate to CNBC, and you'll see why in a little bit. But this is actually, I think, of great importance and great value. So listen to the words and pay attention to what they're saying, and we're going to go through it together as soon as they complete their spiel.
Fun group here of holdings, and we can't go through every single one of them, but there are some notable ones that we want to kind of go through. First of all, we're going to start off with a thematic trade out of David Tepper's Appaloosa Management. In here, what you're seeing right now are the after-hours action in MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, and Square. And the reason why is because Appaloosa, David Tepper's shop, has taken new positions as of June 30th in those payment technology type companies. So an interesting theme developing there if you want to look at it in that way. Also, checking out what's happening here with regard to overall the Berkshire Hathaway 13F. A very fascinating one here because he has reduced stakes in a large way across the main bank holdings in the portfolio. Wells Fargo, a 27% reduction. JP Morgan cut by 62%. PNC Financial, a 42% reduction. And a 9% reduction in shares of BNY Mellon. By the way, they got completely out of their Goldman Sachs shares as well. One of the other interesting points here is Occidental Petroleum. They had some common equity shares, part of which was a dividend payment from earlier this year from their preferred shares in Occidental. Remember, they loaned them, Berkshire Hathaway, $10 billion to finance their acquisition, help finance their acquisition, Occidental's of Anadarko Petroleum. They are now completely out of their stake in common shares of Occidental, so it's maybe some oil commentary there. And then, one interesting look here, Melissa gang. It's a new position for Berkshire Hathaway in Barrick Gold as of June 30th of this year. You can see those shares up about 7% in the...
This is why I'm playing this video, people. They're telling you what's going to happen. They're telling you what they're taking their money out of and what they're putting their money into. And gold is one of them.
Aftermarket session, still, materials, one of the best performing sectors over the last couple of months. Gold miners are part of that story. Rising gold prices to records, of course, Melissa. Behind that, Barrick Gold, the big story there. Back over to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, so I apologize that I might not play the whole video, but this is why I think this is very important. Granted, it goes back to August, but you have to keep in mind when you have tens of millions, if not billions of dollars in liquidity in the market, and you cooperate with other power players in the market, it takes quite some time to make sure your money is dissipated thoroughly into what you want it to be in the next quarter. Keep in mind when that guy mentioned that Appaloosa which is a name in itself, when that guy talked about Appaloosa, you know, moving its money, he said it happened on the 31st of June. Why June 31st, might you ask? Well, that is when the second quarter ends, Q1, Q2. And it might have been July 31st, but I'm pretty sure it was June. Anyways, it was just in time to start the new fiscal quarter. Every quarter is 3 months, January, February, March, that's quarter one. April, May, June, that's quarter two. And so by moving it on June 31st, he was essentially putting it in position to be activated in the market as of Q3. Now, keep in mind, I believe we are about to start Q4, which is October, November, December. And so right now we're coming up on the tail end of Q3. So, you know, you can see that they basically tell you this is what we did in the past, this is what we expect to happen in the future. By definition, you can infer the present, right? And one of the things I think that is most certainly of note is that Warren Buffett got out of oil. That is that Appaloosa, or not Appaloosa, but Occidental Oil. Even though he funded them like $10 billion to stay afloat, they sold off all the damn shares because oil is essentially the dollar. We live in a petrodollar system, right? And if oil goes down, by definition, the dollar isn't too far behind, right? And so this is what I want to get into on this video. When we go back here, I'm gonna look at the charts for a minute and we'll go through a few of them. This isn't really going to be a crypto focused discussion. It's really going to be more of the fiscal policy and macroeconomics of global economics with regards to the petrodollar. Shout out to my man in Tampa, Big Jeff. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm trying to, you know, clean up this live stream and make it all pretty and sexy. So I appreciate, you know, appreciate you sticking with me through the thick and thin. Wave Rider said, so gold miners, not gold. I don't believe in either one. This is what I believe in. I believe in actually physically holding your value, right? If you buy stock in a gold mining company, what do you own? You own a piece of paper, right? As we know on this channel, pieces of paper, especially when they come predated, pre-sorted, and predisposed with somebody else's name on it right there, huh? That means you'll never own it, right? You know? And so I like to own what I claim rights to. I don't claim rights to a debt note, right? I don't claim rights to any debt, public or private. I am the asset. I am the creditor, right? I walk on my own land. And so essentially, we have a situation to where the market is changing. This is the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. And this is what it looks like. This is the NASDAQ going back to April, right? One thing you can note, if we were trading this using our regular basic theology, this would be a sell, right? Buy when it goes above, sell when it goes below, right? And this is the NASDAQ. And if you go back and look at CJB headquarters, oh, they took it off. They had a red ticker. If you scroll back to the beginning of this video, it said, you know, stocks in peril, Apple down 1%. See, they took that red banner off now. And so the stock market is actually following this trend, which will be a downtrend. Once we break, say, this support right there, which we're about to do probably within the next week or so. Once we break that support, you fall down to the next line, which really is going to be a steep fall. And that's going to take you right down there to about $1.20. Right? Yeah. Between 120 and 116 is probably where you can expect to see this thing go to, right? We had a swing zone limbo land in between a 2.2 and a 2.6. Couldn't break out of that. So guess what? When we go down to the next level of support, which will take us down there on the 1.6. Right? Now, the stock market isn't dead. It's not dead in the water, so to speak, but this is not a very good setup, right? In fact, once we fall here, when we fall here, we'll actually be creating a pretty good head and shoulders pattern, which means then, by definition, you pretty much fall to where the beginning of that run started, and that's going to put you somewhere down here. Right? And so Wall Street is not in a very good position. If you look at the asset classes, right? Oil, as I mentioned, Warren Buffett and Occidental, they are out of oil. I mean, they're not out of oil, but they are selling oil, shorting, quote, shorting oil, right? This is a chart I made quite some time ago on a 343, where this was the price that I predicted for oil as of, I think, towards the end of this year, in October, right? And this is $30 a barrel, right? Right now, we're at $38 a barrel. And that's just based off this dip all the way down. It's basically based off a slingshot play to where you have this dip and you bounce up, but then just come right back down like a yo-yo almost, right? So if oil hits $30, that means that the petrodollar is essentially dead in the water. That means that all this funny money, fake money on Wall Street is going to have to find somewhere else to go. And that's what they're telling you. That's what this video was about to show you. They are putting it into other asset classes, including gold, right? Why do you think there are all these tag words for blockchain technology? DeFi, YFI. They come up with a damn new word every other week to tell you where they're going to put their money. Gold is one of them. Precious metals. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. I'm not buying no damn gold miner stocks. I'm buying gold. You know what I'm saying? I'm not buying no silver mining stocks. I'm buying silver. It's $20 an ounce. Why the hell would you want to go and buy a derivative of somebody else's business operation that you don't control when you can literally pay AppMex $25 and have it shipped to your front door inside of 2 weeks? Right? If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Just the same as your Bitcoin private keys. Once you lose ownership of that asset, guess what? The entire asset disappears. Right? And so Bitcoin, as we know, is digital gold. However, the CJBs don't want the common folk, the dumb money, to get rich. So more than likely, we'll see a recension on Bitcoin, however temporary, probably down to the mid-9,000s, I would say inside the next month. Keep in mind, this is an election year. Keep in mind that there are many games being played behind the scenes. Keep in mind there are trillions and trillions of dollars that are moving right now to set up the next decade to century of equity on these digital networks. Keep in mind, blockchain will run the next 20 to 200 years of our civilization, or some derivative thereafter, right? Bitcoin is the predecessor of blockchain technology. It's like AOL, Time Warner, and the goddamn internet. You can't have one without the other, right? You've got mail. Anybody remember 56K dial-up? How big is AOL, Time Warner right now? Shit, they own half the world. Let's look it up. And let's jump back into this video, because this is where it gets comical. So I've had my little dissertation on on the money movement. Now let's just play through it, and I'll do my little social commentary as we go.
Down too, and of course the caveat to all these 13F filings is they are as of the end of the second quarter. I don't know who's got the dog, probably BK. As of the end of the second quarter, positions could have changed since then. For instance, Berkshire Hathaway has been an acquirer of Bank of America very recently, at the beginning of this month, actually. So part of that...
That, to me, is the biggest news. And you heard my dogs barking. They thought it was huge news as well. But listen, this is Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, ostensibly the best investor of all time that has consistently, for the last decade, probably longer, said gold is magical metal. You'll do better off buying American companies. And
All right. So essentially, the Oracle of Omaha, Granddaddy Buffett,
Like a
got
boss.
Granddaddy Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, has officially endorsed gold, right? Keep in mind, he'd have made more money on Wall Street, I think, than half the world has ever seen their return on gold. But now he's saying it's a good time to buy gold. So what does that mean? That means that this money that is not backed by anything, it used to be backed by gold. Once upon a time, notice they got, the golden digits down there. If you look at a $100 bill, I ain't got one on me, they have a golden quill on the $100 bill. There are theories and speculation that King Bobblehead, in his second term, once the economy goes to zero, as the Simpsons predicted yet again, once the economy goes to zero, King Bobblehead can actually start the initiative to bring us back to a gold standard. If you come out to Las Vegas and look at his his hotel, Trump Hotel, it literally looks like a gold bar standing on top of the strip. So, if Buffett's buying gold, if King Bobblehead likes gold, if they got gold numbers on these funny money fake notes, well then maybe you should look at purchasing some as well. Oh, by the way, that's gold too, right? So you really got two versions of gold. You got physical gold and you got digital gold. What is physical gold? Gold bullion, right? Go to appmex.com. I'm not giving you no referral code. Just go and buy you, a tenth of an ounce of gold. It's like $200 right now, right? Go on the same website, buy you 10 ounces of silver, same amount of money, $200. Hold that, give it to your kids, and that way you will hedge yourself against the inevitable probability that the dollar declines in value. This is built into the equation. You cannot escape it. Inflation is between 3.7 and probably 7.5% per year forever, depending on where you're at. This is why when I was little, a candy bar cost $0.25. You go to the gas station, you get like 2 or 3 candy bars for $1. Nowadays, they selling them for $1.50. And the candy bars got smaller. You know what I'm saying? That's because the money is becoming worth less and less and less progressively every year forever. This is the rate of the compound interest rate compounded against you, right? In addition to that, I wanted to tell you guys that the clock is changing, right? One of the things you always have to be cognizant of in addition to not paying attention to the paid puppets reading teleprompters, taking other people's names, you know what I'm saying? Like, infringing on other people's brands, billion-dollar goddamn corporation, infringing on one man's brand out of Notre Dame. But guess what? They said it's dawn of a new day. Change is about to come. I can guarantee you that. The clock is running out. Dawn of a new day is essentially referring to one cycle, ending one cycle, beginning, the sun rising over the mountain and enlightening the land to whatever the forecasters have planned for us. When you look it up, it's actually a new beginning, a fresh start, an important, promising turning point. What is that? That's very point, a turning point. What else turns forever? Nothing else but a circle. This is the Ouroboros. This is ancient symbology going back past the Greek iconographies, the Greeks, the Egyptians. Actually, the Greeks didn't invent much of anything except global theft. They took most of it from the Egyptians. And I love how they say ancient Greek, even though it was like 2,000-3,000 years ago. That's not really ancient. Humans have been on Earth for tens of thousands, if not millions of years. But nonetheless, here we are. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. This is essentially where we get our symbol for a clock from. When the clock strikes 12, what happens? Does all time end and does everybody disappear forever like the Mayans? No! The next minute happens and it goes closer to 1. Right? This is something that I put on my Instagram yesterday at boss of Bitcoin. 9/9. How many people knew that this was one of the most important days that you will ever see in your lifetime? The 9th day of the 9th calendar month reverberates with potent 99 energy. As the last single digit in the numerological sequence, 9 incorporates the powers of all the numbers preceding it. Read that again. 9 incorporates the powers of all numbers preceding it. In numerology, 99 marks the pivot point between the phases. The pivot point between the phases. The closing of one chapter and the opening of another. You've entered a new phase where your best days are manifesting. Read that again. You've entered a new phase where your best days are manifesting. Do not walk in fear of yourself. Do not walk in fear of your neighbor. Do not cover your face and be afraid of an invisible enemy that will never die. It is your turn to receive abundance in a major way. And I took this at Walmart. I went up to Walmart just about, what did I get? I got like some apple cider vinegar and some peanut butter and jelly. It says, to purchase tobacco products, you must have been born on before this date. 99999. You can't get any more nines on that board if you tried, right? It is impossible. And if you notice at the bottom, you got to read the fine print. Zoom in to the bottom. And it says right there, this is our watch, right? This is our watch. 99999. And it happened yesterday. Was that headline news? No, right? And so this is what I'm telling you, people. Like this video if you haven't done it already. Subscribe right now. Turn your notifications on. This is the thesis of this dissertation. Cinderella is about to have to go back home. That glass slipper that she left on the stairs is about to be gone and lost forever, right? If you remember the story of Cinderella, and Cinder actually means fire. Ella is goddess. So the goddess of fire. Ironic how she's dressed in blue and she represents something else. Anyways, at midnight, the golden chariot that she was in turns into a pumpkin and her ball gown turns back to rags, from riches to rags, rags to riches, when the clock strikes midnight. Also keep in mind, when these paid puppets tell you to worship someone, to follow someone, to believe in someone, if that person hasn't made $1 for you your whole life, but they've been making money for everybody else that they cronies with, why would you heed their advice? I tell you this all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break this down like a fraction. If Warren Buffett was in business to make you rich, you would already be rich. Because if he and that king bobblehead in office right now are very good at doing one thing, it's making their friends money. If you got to listen to CNBC to get your news on financial markets and follow the trend that the puppet set for you on the teleprompter that they didn't type themselves, well, you don't have a very good chance at being successful, right? Let's jump into the chat real quick. Let's see what's going on. Tesla took a dip once again. Yes! And one of these people wanted me to talk about it yesterday. If you go back in the video yesterday, somebody said, Tesla has some major news coming out. Can you talk about the chart? I said politely, fuck no. Why would I talk about Elon Musk? Elon Musk needs to be talking about me. I'm changing the damn world one video at a time. You know what I'm saying? He reading another teleprompter from the UHF, United Nations. You know what I'm saying? Sending people to Mars and shit. I'm living on planet Earth. Shit is fucked up on planet Earth. I'm trying to help my people get paid. You know what I'm saying? Break the chains off their necks so they can be human again. So and I apologize for, I probably shouldn't even open up the video because I see I lost some viewers when I played like 3 minutes of that clip in the beginning. But nonetheless, here we are. Hopefully you got some value out of this. You need to pay attention when it's worth paying attention to, right? When they tell you where the smart money is going, well, then maybe you should listen, because by definition, to them, we're all ignorant, we're shadow, we're sheep. You know, we just go with the flow, get pushed whatever direction they decide to push us in, right? Logical Fields, thank you for the kind words, appreciate it. Although blockchain is decentralized, the Constitution still has a centralized figure. They actually have to hold the corresponding bar for you. Blockchain needs to be trustless. PAXG, I'm not sure what that is. Is that a token? Not sure. So, I think that's what I got for you guys today. Wanted to say thank you for joining me. If you want to join me on our crypto communities, again, this is one of them. YouTube is probably the largest channel I have right now, until you jump on over to Library, LBRY. They are a new decentralized platform that is featuring my content. I'm one of the top channels on there, LBRY at Bitcoin, right? Check that out if you haven't done it already. And we also have a free Telegram group. So this is 100% free, of the people, for the people, by the people. There is a link for you in the description on bossofbitcoin.com. There is 2 products and packages that we offer. The profit package is the top 7 coins to swing trade every 7 days. Every week I update this. When it's money to be made in the market, you better believe that the top coins making money will be on that list. My reputation speaks for itself. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And the profit package, the profit's about to fly, right? In the down market, it's quite different, right? I don't control the money. I can only, help other people navigate the flow of the currency that the powers that be send our way. So it's really good a trading community if you're trying to figure out that methodology for yourself. I say once you get more than $2,000 or $3,000 in the market, probably 0.2, 0.3 BTC, then the VIP trading group is for you. That's $200 for the first month, $250 thereafter, and it's a 24-hour community of some of the best traders that have actually been coached and mentored by me, and all over the world. We got people from Alaska, Seattle, Paris, North Africa. Is pretty amazing. New Zealand, shout out to Ms. 90 Crypto. Bali, you know what I'm saying, Ms. Leanne. And it's a great community between the profit package and the VIP trading group. It's a lot of positivity, a lot of people helping people, just like the good old days. So that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Mr. Jeffrey, I appreciate you as well. What's going on, everybody? If you have a crypto question, if you want to see some content in the next video, just leave me a comment on this video. And you can also feel free to shout your city or your country out. I will get to you guys on the next go round. So with that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay. Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through. Go. Jerk. Money. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up.
Like